Now in this class we are going to discuss the new chapter biodiversity. Biodiversity. Here diversity means variation. Diversity means here variation. And also one more meaning also will come. Depending upon the situation, here distribution. Okay. So here meaning that means depending upon situation. Actually it is a biodiversity. Biodiversity means here the variation of life. Bio means life. Here the life variation and also different organisms their distribution we can see in this chapter. In this biodiversity, what kind of levels are present? That means different types of biodiversity. How many species are distributed throughout the world? That means how many species are estimated on the earth? In India, total entire worldwide, how many species are present? We will discuss in this chapter. And nowadays, how many species are disappear from the world? How they are segregated? And the species, how it is disappear different patterns, how we are conserving the species, we'll see this biodiversity chapter. So first of all, what is meant by here the biodiversity? Before, see, biodiversity definition before once you see, in our surrounding we find different kinds of organisms. In our surrounding, total here in our surrounding we find different kinds of organisms which are vary in size. These organisms which are vary in size and shape, okay, and also feeding and also habits and habitats and behavior. In our surrounding, we find the different kinds of organisms, that means plants, animals. So every different kinds of organisms are present. So they are every organism that are varies in size, which are varies in the size and body shape also. That means they are collecting the food. That means forage. Okay, feeding efficiency. That means it is the forage. That means the collection of food. So the feeding efficiency and habits. What are their habits? And where they are living the place. That means habitats. And the organisms are behavior also vary. Everything it is vary in different organisms. Once again see this point. So in our surrounding we find different kinds of organisms which are varying in size and shape and feeding and habits and habitats and also behavior. For example, see here on earth 20,000 species of ants are present. On the earth, 20,000 species of ants are present, and 3 lakh species of beetles. 3 lakh species of beetles, and 28,000 species of fishes. 28,000 species of fishes. Okay, and 20,000 species of orchid plants. So these are the every organism, different organisms are there. See here examples: ants, beetles, fishes, orchids. So their number also different, and also their feeding efficiency, their sizes, their behavior, the feeding efficiency, every organism is here different. So on the earth, these are the approximate number of organisms. Okay, next. What is meant by here the biodiversity? Biodiversity means the variation of life. The variation of life at various levels. The variation of life at various levels in a biological organization, we call it is biodiversity. Biodiversity means the variation of life at various levels. Every organism in their life having, you can see, their different levels are present. So every individual. So human being, 2 different people having 2 different animals. Between, you can see, there are so much of variations are present. 2 different species of plants. Why? Because 2 different types of plants means they are their what is that? The production of materials, the productivity. Okay, and also their flowering, and also they are absorbing the different minerals, and also next what are the plant productivity or everything is. So here 2 different species between every individual, that means every organism having completely different. So that life is completely, variation is present. So that's why the variation of life at various levels, we call it is biodiversity. And one more definition is present. So biodiversity means the variety of plants and animals and microbes are present in that habitat, we call biodiversity. According to the textbook, this author definition is right. Okay, and one more definition. So the number of, what are the plants, what are the animals, what are the microbes, or everything, then that means the number of varieties are present. That means variety, here variation. Actually definition, the variety and variation of life at various levels, we call biodiversity. So simply I said here, the variation of life at various levels, we call biodiversity. One more definition, what is this? A variety of species. The variety of species such as, what do you call? Plants, animals, microbes, they are present in their habitat. They are present in the habitat. In the habitat, plants are present, animals are present, and also microbes are also present in the surrounding area, in an habitat. So that's we call also biodiversity. Okay, so the biodiversity word, coined by scientists. The biodiversity word coined by scientist. Who is the scientist here? W.C. Rosen. The scientist name? W.C. Rosen. The biodiversity word coined by scientist W.C. Rosen. The biodiversity word popularized by the scientist. Edward Wilson. what he described. Okay, the term biodiversity was popularized by the scientist Edward Wilson. He described the biological organization, that means the biodiversity not only at species level. The biodiversity exists from molecular level too. Okay, so here the biodiversity exists not only at species level, so it exists molecular level too. Molecular means it is the atoms from starting. So finally it can be formed the biome, that means a biosphere. Biosphere, already said in organisms or population. So organism can be started. So what is this? Here the cells, it can be started. Cells to formation of tissues. Tissues are formation of it is organs, organisms, and also ecosystems. And finally it leads to the formation of the biospheres. In organism population I said 11 integrative levels I said. Okay, organism and population and community and biomes, and also finally it leads to the formation of biosphere. So the biodiversity, the variation we can see not only the species level, it is also exists from molecular level to molecular. It can be starts, it can be, you can see is the biosphere. So that is he described. Why? Because here why it is popularized the biodiversity means the biodiversity is popularized by scientist Edward Wilson. So the biological organization, it not only exists the species level, okay, not only the species, not only two different individuals, okay, that biodiversity, it is variation you can see from molecular level to up to the biosphere formation. Every strategies, that means every stage, every trophic level maybe, and also every what is the hierarchical level. Hierarchical means there is a cells variation, tissues variation, and organs variation, organ systems variation, and also organisms. Two different organisms are variation, and also community variation, and two different populations variation, two different biomes variation, two different ecosystems variation. Finally, having this a biosphere form. So every hierarchical level, so much of variation that can be shown. We can see in the biodiversity. Okay, that's it. Here, this is the term is coined by W.0. Ocean, and also the term is popularized by scientist Edward Wilson. Next, levels of biodiversity. What is one? Levels of biodiversity. So in the levels of biodiversity, there are biodiversity levels means it is the types. The biodiversity types are three types. The biology is organized into three levels of biodiversity. First one, genetic diversity. Genetic diversity. Second one, species. Second one, species biodiversity. Third one, ecosystem biodiversity. Here, three different types of, it is the levels are present in biodiversity. Here the genetic diversity, and also species diversity, and also ecosystem diversity. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss genetic diversity. So now, what is meant by here the genetic diversity? The genetic diversity means the diversity within the genes. Here the diversity within the genes we called the diversity within the genes we call it is a genetic diversity. So the variation we can see in the genes, the variation we can see within the genes, that's we call it is the genetic diversity. Here a single species, a single species, it show high diversity at their distributional range. Okay, a single species, it may show high diversity at a genetic level over its distributional range. Okay, so once again see this point, is any single species you can see. Any single species, it can show their distributional range, how much of their distribution range, that much of it here, it show a variation. That means a single species, it may show high diversity, high variation. The single species within a genes, it show a high variation over its distributional range. Suppose, for example, Rauwolfia vomitoria. Rauwolfia vomitoria, it is a medicinal plant. Rauwolfia vomitoria is a medicinal plant. The Rauwolfia vomitoria is a medicinal plant. It grows a great Himalayan ranges. It producing the, this plant producing the an active chemical. It producing the an active chemical. What is this active chemical? The active chemical that we call it is reserpine. The active chemical we call it is the reserpine. So this reserpine is used to treat the high blood pressure. Okay, this reserpine is used to treat the high blood pressure purpose. So the Rauwolfia vomitoria is a medicinal plant. It brings a great Himalayan ranges. It producing an active chemical. What is this one? Reserpine. What is the active chemical? This active chemical, it is, what do you call it? Is reserpine. This reserpine used to treat the high blood pressure purpose. So what is here variation? It shown genetically. It show a great variation. It show a great variation in the potentiality, potency, and also concentration. It shows, this is the main part. What is the variation? Genetically it show a variation. All the plants it not show. Rauwolfia, there are number of species are present. So only this Rauwolfia vomitoria it show a within the genes variation. What it shown? Their production, the active chemical, the reserpine, here high potentiality is present, and concentration also, various levels. The concentration here, there another plant may be produce, maybe it having that much of not variation, that means so much of variations. So that's why here the potency and the concentration. This is the genes, the what are the genes are present in the plant. Those genes, okay, those genes only it show you such a character. Other plants it not show you such a character. So that's why here this Rauwolfia vomitoria. So it shows a genetically it show variation, mainly potentiality and also concentration. So same kind of genes are present maybe. So same kind of genes means so other genes are other plants, all the plants having such a potentiality it is not present. Why? Because it is this plant unit having such a specific character. Such a specific character it comes within the genes only. Such a specific character it will come within the genes only. Okay, that's it. Once again, say this for example, the Rauwolfia vomitoria is a medicinal plant. It growing at great Himalayan ranges that producing an active chemical. So that active chemical, that's what do you call it, is reserpine. So this reserpine is used to treat the high blood pressure purpose, and this active chemical, the reserpine, is showing it is genetically what it is here, high potentiality and also concentration. Potentiality and also concentration. That's it. Next, main in that genetic diversity, the India has more than nearly 50,000 species of mangoes are present. Okay, in India having it is the 50,000 varieties of, nearly about it is the 50,000 different strains of, 50,000 different strains. Sorry, not mangoes, here rice. Okay, rice. India having it show nearly about it is the 50,000 varieties strains of rice varieties are present, and also 1,000 varieties of it is mangoes are present. 1,000 varieties of mangoes are present. Okay, so these are actually every variety here, that is rice, and also 50,000 varieties means here every variety I am showing is genetically different variations. And mangoes also, that may be variation means it may be mangoes, we can say is the size and shape and taste and color, everything it is it show you genetically different variations are present. So in India, nearly about it is 50,000 varieties. Then the strains of it is the rice are present. All are it showing genetically so much of variations, and 1,000 varieties. Nearly it is the 1,000 varieties. 1,000 varieties of it is the mangoes are present. So the genetic variety it show you some genetic it show you variation in the environment. Okay, genetically the genetic diversity show you environmental variation also it can be formed sometimes. And also the genetic diversity leads to the formation of new species. That means speciation. The genetic diversity leads to the formation of new species. Why? Because so much of genes variation that the new hybrid varieties are produced. Okay, so that's why it is the speciation. The genetic diversity as leads to formation of it is the new speciation. That means new species is formed. That's it. So this is the genetic diversity. Once again, see this genetic diversity. So the diversity between the genes we call it is the genetic diversity. So a single species it show a high diversity at the genetic level, and it show you over their distributional range also. And Rauwolfia, suppose for example Rauwolfia vomitoria, it is a medicinal plant. It is growing in great Himalayan ranges. Okay, it is producing an active chemical, that's a reserpine. So the reserpine is used to treat the high blood pressure purpose. So this active chemical is showing genetically variation, high potential and concentration. And India having is 50,000 varieties of rice and as 1,000 varieties of mangoes. Every species having it show a variation, genetically it show variation. And also the genetically variation, the genetic diversity increases the environmental variability and advantages for its survival also. So the genetic variation leads to formation of new species. Genetic variation leads to formation of new species. Okay, so this is genetic diversity. Next, second one. Another one, it is the species biodiversity. Second one, it is the species biodiversity. In that species biodiversity, the diversity of the variation, you can see the species level. What is this one here? the diversity of species level. The diversity, that means variation, you can see the species level. The variation, you can see the species, that means the species having it is so much of variations are present. So in that, one more definition I will say. So what do you call here? A variety of number. A variety of number and also richness of species. Okay, variety of species, variety of such a species means a variety of number and richness of species. Okay, in a region we call it is also species diversity. So in that, what is meant by here the species richness? What is meant by here the species richness? The number of, yes, the number of individuals, the number of species, the number of species in an area that we call it is the species richness. What do you call? Species richness. Next, species evenness. Species evenness means see in the block in an area you can see. So different colors I spotted. So that means the number of individuals of different species. The number of individuals. Number of individuals. The number of individuals of different species. The number of individuals of different species we call species evenness. Okay, this is called the species richness, the species evenness. Both are we also call it is a species biodiversity. That means species diversity. Species diversity. Once again, see the diversity within the species, the diversity at a species level we call it is species diversity. One more definition, the variety of number, that means species are a variety number and the richness of species in a region we call it is a species diversity. In that some definition, what is meant by here the species richness means the number of individuals and the number of species in an area, that we call it is the species richness. And the species evenness. Species evenness means so the number of individuals of different species we call it is the species evenness. So in the species diversity, what is the example? In the species diversity, what is the example? So actually in this example, the amphibians. So the amphibians biodiversity is greater in the Western Ghats than Northern Ghats. Okay, so the Western Ghats, this is actually what we are seeing is the areas that means here Goa and Maharashtra and Kannada, these regions that we call it is the Western Ghats areas. So here also nearly it can be started this Western Ghats area. So in the Western Ghats area, amphibian diversity is more. Amphibians species diversity is greater in the Western Ghats than the top it is the Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats means that West Bengal and Orissa, Chhattisgarh and also those hills region, that's region we call it is the Northern Ghats. So when compared to there, here the species diversity means their species diversity, the species distribution here more. In the Western Ghats region, number of species Here hundred thousands of it is a sometimes it is a during the time of season you can see. So the during the based on the potentiality the species they are increasing their number. So that's why here in the Western Ghats region the species diversity more, particularly the amphibians diversity is greater in the Western Ghats than that of it is the Eastern Ghats. Okay, this is the species diversity once again. So the diversity at species level and one more definition, the variety of number and richness of species in a region we called it is the species diversity. And species richness, and what is meant by species richness, the number of individuals in an area we call it is the species richness. Species evenness means, so the number of individuals of different species we call that is the species evenness. Examples of this species diversity, the amphibian diversity is greater in the Western Ghats than that of Eastern Ghats. This is the second one, it is the species diversity. Next, third one, what is called? It is the ecosystem diversity. What is meant by here? The ecosystem diversity.